Okay, sure. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My dear sisters. Can I have the brothers just step forward a little bit, if you don't mind, as a request of the admin? Alaikum, Sheikh. Allah yasik. Okay. Bismillah. Okay. Bismillah walhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulullah ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear brothers in Islam, and welcome to the alhamdulillah, the first of the series, and we're planning to have this for the duration of the summer, the 3 months of June, July and August, inshallah. Every Thursday, inshallah, night between Maghrib and Isha. We'll do our best to make it concise a little bit, and we will give you a little bit of background. So tonight we're going to have an introduction, and I'll do my best to get to at least get to Al-Fatiha, so we have a comprehensive idea about it. So this is slightly different than the average tafsir class, because I am going to use 2 books, and these 2 books are very comprehensive. So one of the books that I'm going to be using, inshallah, is Al-Quran Al-Kareem, Tadabbur wa Amal. The Quran, the glorified Quran, is tadabbur, pondering, reflecting, but not just that, but actions and deeds. So this is what we call the twins of faith, ilm and amal, knowledge and action. So we're going to give you some homework. So you're not going to come in here, listen and be entertained and get some candy. No, you're going to have to earn the candy. And I'm just saying, after this, we got to make you say, we learned this. So what does that mean? What does that actually involve me into this ayah? How does that benefit me in my life? Hence the living Quran. So we're going to take the ayat, we're going to take a tadabbur, pondering, reflecting about that. Then what does that mean to me personally, and how do I implement this ayah in my daily life by the actions and deeds? Who taught us this? If you can tell me. I know it's not fair, I haven't told you that, but I want to ask questions. You know why we ask questions, by the way, guys? So you don't fall asleep. That's basically it. Oh, this guy's going to ask questions. What's hell? All right. So the one that taught us this ilm and amal is Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu warda, when he said, "Ta'allamna al-Quran." How? 10 ayat at a time. He says we learned the Quran 10 ayat, 10 verses at a time, because we learned the ayat, then understood what it means, then derived the ahkam, the rulings of the sharia, the jurisprudence, then implemented them, then we moved on. You understand? Because al-ilm hujjatun laka am alayk. Knowledge is a plea for you or against you. So please remember, laysa man ya'lam kaman la ya'lam. They're not the same. They're not laysu sawa'a. They're not equal. Those who know and those who don't know. Yes? So we'll talk a little bit about the introduction of this book, because it took 10 books of the mainstream tafsir books just to come up with this. But remember, this is a nutshell. So we're not going to go into too many details. Yes? We're going to take what pertains to us, learn from it, implement it, and move on. So this is basically what it is. So before we go there, I'll tell you about a little bit about the other book. The other book I'm going to be using, inshallah, says Rasail min al-Quran. Messages from the Quran. That means I'm going to give you one message only every time I come here, inshallah. So we'll take the best of what we got, learn from it, and leave you with homework and one message to take home. Who is the best amongst us, brothers and sisters? According to, I mean, there's quite a few hadith, but pertaining to what we're talking about here. خيركم Allah yaftah alayka, Shaykh. The best of you, man ta'allama al-Quran wa 'allama. Those who learn the Quran and teach it. That means whenever you learn here, you go back and teach your family. You go back and teach your friends. You go back and teach your spouses, your children, if they're not here. And share the wealth and the knowledge, because الدال على الخير كفاعله. If you help others to gain access to knowledge, you will get the same reward. Whatever they do, you will get to, inshallah. So, a nabdha, first, why do you think the Quran is the best of the best? Who can tell me why? It is a word of Allah, of course. Anything else? Okay. Now, listen to that combination. The best of the best, because when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed the Quran, He used the best of the best. Okay. Who did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala use to reveal the message? Jibreel. Okay, raise your hand. I respect that. Go ahead, man. Jibreel. What's your name, my brother? Sufyan. How old are you, man? 13. Are you married yet? Oh, sorry, wrong course. We'll talk about it. Good for you, brother Sufyan. 13 years old. He's on. Good for you, man. He's right. He used Jibreel alayhi salam. And who's Jibreel? He's the head of the angels. That means he's the best angel. Qawi Amin. Yes. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us that he is the best. He is strong and trustworthy. He is Amin al-Wahi. Allah entrusted him with the revelation. How could you get any better than that? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used the best of angels to trust the revelation to send to whom? Allahu Akbar. Yes, my brother. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, mashallah. What's your name, man? Yusuf. How old are you, brother Yusuf? MashaAllah. Dude, sorry, you got beaten up. 7 years old. Good for you, man. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the best of creations, not prophets and messengers. He's the seal of the prophets and messengers. There's no prophet and messenger after him. He will lead the prayers in Aqsa. May Allah free it and grant us a blessing. Prayers together in it, Ya Rab. Say Ameen. Inshallah, he will come and lead the messengers, prophets and messengers in Al-Aqsa. What does that tell you? It tells you that the Al-Aqsa is ours. Don't go to listen to, I'm not going to go too much politics on you, but I was just, it belongs to blah, blah, blah. No. Why? Because there's a hadith that verifies that. Who can tell me the hadith? Too many questions? Okay. He says, لا يؤم الرجل في سلطانه. A leader, the owner of the landlord, the house, the owner of the house will not be led in his own domain. So Prophet Muhammad ﷺ led in Al-Aqsa. That means it's his. You understand? Yeah. So I know that we're going to learn a little bit. Take whatever you can. I'll do my best not to overwhelm you. But it's important to know the background in order for you to be able to say, why should I be here? Why should I listen to you? I got a school to go, or I got a job, whatever, all of that stuff. But inshallah, you will understand why. This is called futures and benefits. Futures attract and benefits sell. If you're in sales, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Cool. So now, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is the best of creation. Then, where did he receive it? Mecca. Exactly. And Mecca is what? Ummul Qura. The best. Yes? So, best angel, alayhi salam, and best of creation, alayhi salatu wassalam, and the best of places. May Allah grant us a return to it over and over and over again. Ya Rab, Ameen. And then, what month was it revealed in? Allahu Akbar. You see the trend here, guys? All right. Ramadan, Sayyid al-Shuhur. The hadith says Ramadan is the master, the best of month. Very good. What night was it revealed in? Ya salam. Laylatul Qadr. Yes? The night of decree, the divine decree of everything. Yes? On that night, Allah decrees your everything. On that night for the year. So it's a night of power. I understand the translation, but it really, Qadr is Qadrha, it's like, it's a very high status of that night. Qadr. And also, Qadr, we can take both. It's a divine decree that you will be getting 1, 2, 3. All of that. Very good. Now, understanding that it's the best of the best of the best of the best. And now I already told you the best of us is the one that learns the Quran and teaches it. Okay, and if you learn this and implement it, and you let the Quran, you become a walking Quran, and you let it be not in your hand, but also in your heart, mind, and soul, you will be the best of the best. Do you understand, brothers? That's the intention now. I want to come here to learn and implement, and that's exactly what it is. So I'm going to talk about some of the benefits, because there's quite a few. I'm going to pick a few things to understand, then we'll move on, inshallah. Now, understanding also that the Quran is ar-ruh. Ar-ruh is the spirit that we live by. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَكَذَلِكَ أُوحَيْنَا إِلَيْكَ رُوحًا مِّنْ أَمْرِنَا. As such, we inspired upon you a spirit from our decree. Because it is ar-ruh ma tahsul bihi al-hayah. The spirit, the ruh, and by the way, what's the difference between ruh and nafs? Hang in there. I know, I can see smoke coming out of your head already. Too much shaykh. Come on, man. We're just saying Bismillah, yani. Okay, I'm not gonna, again, it's not fair because I haven't asked you. I haven't told you yet, but in the end we'll recap. Cool? That's why I call it the three tells. Have you heard of the three tells? All right, the three tells. Tell them what you're gonna tell them. Tell them what you told them. That's called the three tells. So today we're gonna talk about 1, 2, 3, like I told you. Then we're going to go through it. Then in the end, we'll recap in a form of competition. But the competition is going to be between the brothers and sisters. Just saying. And guess who usually wins? The sisters. Why? They actually take notes. Brothers, I got it here, Sheikh. I got it right here, Sheikh. Okay. So, الروح ما تحصل به الحياة. That means the spirit is what makes you alive. So what's the difference between الروح والنفس? Simple. Ar-ruh is before it comes into your body and it after leaves your body. But the nafs is it comes in your body. And how many types of nafs? 3, mashallah. What are they? Nafs al-lawama, ammara bis-su', mutma'inna. Very good, very good. So this is the spirit that we live by. Al-lawama, reproaching soul. I'm not going to go into it too much, but just an FYI. The reproaching soul blames you on doing things that are bad. It also blames you on doing something good. How come? How could that blame you for doing something good? Who can tell me? Okay, let me tell you. For example, you're a billionaire, not a millionaire. Billionaire. Then you come to a fundraiser for MNN. We need to build a masjid, man. We need to build, it's right there. You know what? We need it because, mashallah, tabarakallah, it's one of the busiest areas right here in Muslim Saga. You know the drill. Right? So this billionaire guy comes into this fundraiser masjid thingy. We need all the help we can get. And he raises his hand for $500. What? Dude, you're a billionaire, not a millionaire, and you give $500. So this nafs will blame you. You cheapskate, what are you doing? You just paid whatever, blah, 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 for a steakhouse more than what you did. You took a... You know what I mean? That's called the nafs al-lawama, reproaching soul. And nafs al-ammara bis-su', the one we all have it. Commands you to do evil. May Allah protect us from that. Except Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that Allah made him control his own. And then third, may Allah make us among them, and nafs al-mutma'inna, like Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu. They're tranquil, they're at ease, they're at peace. Because they did everything that Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked them to do, and they stayed away from everything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked them to stay away from. Mutma'inna, yes? They look forward to it because I paid my dues. I'm going there to be comforted. Everybody's faza', everybody's scared. No, on that day you'll be mutma'in. Tranquil, peace, you're not scared. So it is a ruh, one thing that you can understand. And an-nur, وَمَا يَحْصُلْ بِهِ الْأَبْصَارِ. An-nur is a guiding light. And by the way, you think it's the eye that sees, that you get the nur? No, Sheikh. It's a reflection, exactly. So without the nur, you can't see. You get it? It's not the eye, Sheikh. So this is the nur. The Quran is the nur, the guiding light that you can see with. There is al-basar wal-basira. Al-basar, basira. Yes? Basar is your vision. Al-basira is that something that you can deeply see within people. You can see beyond what people see beside. It's an insight. Yes? That is a gift from Allah that is given when you do it. Yes? And I'll give you the proof a little bit later, inshallah, not too much on this side, inshallah. Now, Al-Hadi, إِذَا الَّذِي يَهْدِي بِهِ النَّاسِ لِلطَّرِيقِ الْقَوِيمِ إِنَّ هَذَا الْقُرْآنِ يَهْدِي لِلَّتِي هِيَ أَقْوَمُ. This is the one that will keep you on the straight and narrow. Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, indeed, this is the revelation that will keep you on the straight path. Yes? So, on that, we have to understand what is the Quran. And I will, after this, ask you what is the udwan, what is the address of the Quran. Yes? No, I don't mean the address, I mean what is the address according to the scholars, inshallah. الشفاء والرشاد قل هو للذين آمنوا هدى وشفاء. It is for those who believe huda, guidance. And there are two types of guidance. And the one, shifa, but it's shifa, it's not all. Minhu is min al-tab'idiyya. Yes, same as the al-asal, the honey. So is it minhu? It's like it's not going to cure everything, but from it. But those who are yahdi bihi man yasha wa yudil. It is the same book you can be guided with. It's the same book that can be misguided with. How could that be? How could you be guided with this book and also be misguided with this book? Decipher the hieroglyphics. Okay. If your intention is to learn and to be guided, Allah will guide you. Yes? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, this book will guide. وَالَّذِينَ اهْتَدَوْا زِدْنَاهُمْ هُدًى. Yes? Those who guided, they're looking for it, will increase their guidance. But this is the sin. وَيُضُلِّ بِهِ مَن يَشَاءُ. But if your intention is to come here and fish for fault, to fight Islam and Muslims with, you will be misguided. That's your wrong intention. Even though some people have the right intention, inshallah, they wanted to do this, but Allah guided them, like the converts, for example, the enemies of Islam. These are the type of things that you will understand what the difference is all about, inshallah. And lastly, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, this is al-haqq la yu'tihi al-batil min, this is the truth, no falsehood will come through it. لا يأتيه الباطل من بين يديه ولا من خلفه تنزيل من حكيم حميد. There is no falsehood that will come and penetrate either before it or after it. It is perfectly sealed. It is protected. You shall not pass. If you laugh, and that means you've seen the movie. I'm just saying. It's okay. Don't worry, relax. Yeah. All right. So now, this is among the fadl. This is just understanding what the benefits of it. Now, fadl qira'atul Quran. Allah subhanahu wa jalla fi ula will tell you, iqra wartaqi. Recite and get elevated. Yes? So the difference of opinion among the scholars is it when you read it or when you read and implement it or memorize it, difference of opinions. So how many ayat in the Quran? MashaAllah, close. 6,232. Okay, that's fine. 236. Depending on the Uthmani or whatever it is, that's fine. You got the idea. That means how many ranks in heaven? Some of the scholars says that's the ranks in heaven. Could you imagine? Yeah? So we want the best house. We want the best car. We want the best of everything. But when it comes to Jannah, ya ammi, just put my foot in the door. I'm cool, man. Just stay away from the hellfire. Go inside. Yani. But when it comes to dunya, I want the best of everything. I want the Mercedes-Benz. I want the Swiss bank account, a private jet, private yacht, 3,000 or 5,000 square foot 3-car garage. But when it comes to dunya, more. Yes? But when it comes to the deen and the hereafter, yani, it's okay, Shaykh. Yani, Rabbina Ghafur Rahim. Yeah. So this is something that we need to actually do. So I'm going to give you also some homework, inshallah, but one at a time, one step at a time, inshallah. Very good. إن الذين يتلون كتاب الله وأقاموا الصلاة وأنفقوا مما رزقناهم سرا وعلينا يرجون تجارا لن تبور. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says who recite the Quran, they are doing what? A never perishing commodity, dealing with Allah. This is the best deal. If you want like a good deal, this is the best deal, Shaykh. لن تبور. Lan is called abadiyya. He didn't say lam or la. La, lam, lan. Yes? Lan is called eternal, abadiyya. So you will never perish. You can never lose. Now, al-thamara, we understood it is the best. Now, most of the brothers, when they say hafidh al-Quran, you know what a hafidh al-Quran is? They actually think that he's a memorizer or the protector of the Quran. It's the other way around. It's the Quran that protects you. So when they say he's a hafidh al-Quran, most people think, oh, he's a memorizer of the Quran. Alhamdulillah, may Allah bless him, yani. But understanding that hafidh al-Quran is actually the Quran is protecting you, not you protecting the Quran. But you're an ayah. Because Allah subhanahu wa jalla mentioned that in the Quran. You see? إِنَّا نَحْنُ نَزَّلْنَا الذِّكْرِ وَإِنَّا لَهُ لَحَافِظُونَ. It is for us we revealed the scripture. And it's for us to protect it. And how does Allah protect it? As-sutur was-sudur. What does sutur mean? The Quran that you have in your hand. Was-sudur, memorize it in your heart. Yes? Wallah, I used to sit on the multi-faith committee. I do once in a while. I used to teach the Canadian Army and police and all of that stuff about Islam, and they're so scared when they go into somewhere else. So I challenged them because some of them were giving me some heat. Yes? Especially when the multi-faith committee, when they sit. I said, listen, I'm just going to give you one challenge. That's all there is to it. And I'm sure you've heard it before. So listen, if all denominations, all religion agreed that they're going to, the source of all this agony in the world and all of that stuff is the book, and all this, where everybody wants to fight, everybody wants to kill each other because of this. They're going to throw all the scriptures in the river or the Nile or the ocean. Okay? Which is the only book that will come back immediately. Because of what? Quran. And they never refuted. They submitted. Because they know that. Why? Because as-sutur was-sudur. It is, we have the original. From the time of Prophet Muhammad till now. And we have millions of people memorize it, whether you speak Arabic or not. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of brothers and sisters that memorize the Quran. They're Ajam, they're non-Arabs. Yes? That's the mu'jiza. That's a miracle in itself. So understanding that, my brothers and sisters, we have to understand the book that we have. You know, when people, sit back and say, how to influence people and make friends and how to influence people, we just see here for it. It's Quran, yani. So you take all these romance novels and this guy with the hair coming down and the birds are chirping and all of that stuff and the Bollywood movie coming in through it. And then we take it and we can't stop reading. But when it comes to Quran, understand, Sheikh. Yeah, so we have to actually value this, a word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I'll tell you actually the testimony of Al-Walid ibn al-Mughira. This is an enemy of Allah. He mentioned, ذَرْنِي وَمَنْ خَلَقْتُ وَحِيدًا. Leave me with the one that I created alone. Because he mentioned something. He could have turned things around. Subhanallah, but he turned, when you turn your body and heart at the same time, not just your body, he did the same. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made him an ayah in the Quran because he knew the truth. And he could have changed things. وَلَكِنْ بَاعَ دِينَهُ بِدُنْيَا غَيْرِهِ. That means he sold his deen with somebody else's life. Why? Because he's not going to take him with him. So don't be among those who sell, Shaykh. Don't be among those who abandon the Quran. And abandoning the Quran is not establishing, not reading it. And you're ashamed to be seen to read the Quran. Yes? Okay, on the subway, whatever it is, you read the Quran, and all of a sudden somebody comes up and you go, yeah, no, I'm just studying the business course right here. It's okay. Allah Kareem, inshallah. طيب. الثمرة على المداومة, inshallah. It says, who's Ahlullah wa khasatih? Ahl al-Quran. On Judgment Day, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ayna ahli? Where is my family? Who's going to stand up? Ahl al-Quran. The people of the Quran. They live Quran. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do. Okay? I know it may take a little bit to build. That's okay. I'm okay with it. But just to make sure the foundation has to be strong in order for you to build on it, inshallah. So here's what I'm going to ask you to brothers. Most of us have one of these things, right? Yeah. So raise your hand if you have a Quran app on this guy. MashaAllah. Good for you. Next time I come around, good for you, my man. MashaAllah. Next time I come around, I want everybody to raise their hand, inshallah. Everybody to raise their hand to say, I have a Quran app on this. All right. Raise your hand if you listen to Quran in your car. MashaAllah. Again, next time I come in here, I want, otherwise you go, boom, boom, come on, yani. All right. On the plane, you're waiting for a doctor, you're waiting in the, long in the traffic and all of that stuff. You're going to, traffic. You know what, man? How many hasanat? When you say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, how many hasanat did you just get, man? 190. Allahu Akbar, 190. I was going to second guessing it. 19, do you believe it? 190 hasanat. For every letter, you get 10 hasanat, man. So we need to implement that now. Let's be among the people of the Quran. Yes? How many of us just get the Quran in Ramadan? Don't raise your hand. Don't raise your hand. It's a rhetorical question. I'm just saying to make sure that we understand that that's most of this. That's the average Muslim, yes? So now we need to continue and know the fruit of it, inshallah. All right. Among them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لِيَدَّبَّرُوا. This is what we're here for. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed the book for what? For us to memorize it. I don't want you to be like a parrot, with all due respect to Allah. I don't want you to be that. I want you to listen to what Allah says in the Quran. It says that لِيَدَّبَّرُوا. It says they can ponder and reflect. It's a contemplate about what it really is. Didn't Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أَفَلَا يَقْرَؤُونَ الْقُرْآنِ? No, He didn't say that. What did He say? I know I have hafadh here, I get it, mashallah. أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنِ? Will they not ponder and reflect and contemplate about the Quran? He didn't say أَفَلَا يَقْرَؤُونَ الْقُرْآنِ. He says أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنِ. It's extremely important for us to understand this, inshallah. I'm skipping a lot, but I know that, inshallah, that I don't want to overwhelm you with certain things, but it says the fadl al-Quran, inshallah. When Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, أَيُحِبُّ أَحَدُكُمْ إِذَا رَجَعَ إِلَيْهِ أَجَجَ فِيهِ ثَلَاثِ خِلْفَاتٍ عِظَامٍ سَمَانٍ. This is فَثَلَاثُ آيَاتٍ لَيَقْرَأُ فِيهِنَّ. He says, you want something that is amazing among the treasures of this earth, even 3 ayat. Even 3 ayat, Shaykh. So you're going to have some work. I want you to have a halaqah at home. Yes? And delegate the responsibilities to your spouse and your children. So this is what I'm going to ask you to do, inshallah. I'm going to ask you to have a halaqah at home. So I'm going to ask the father to give the first one ayah, just one ayah, man. Even one hadith is fine. And then understand what it means, implement it, and then next week or whatever it is, I want your wife to be the second person. Then your elder child, and so on and so forth. That's how you delegate responsibilities, and that's how you raise righteous children. Make sure that they become part of this, not just listening. No, give them the responsibility, because they have a lot to give, but we cannot not make them lead. Let them lead. And I want them to lead you. Even if you don't come in the jama'ah, I want them to lead you at home. If they memorize something, lead them at home, inshallah. This is among the things that we are going to understand the benefits of it, inshallah. طيب. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us more, inshallah. When Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, حافظ على الصلوات المكتوبات لم يكتب من الغافلين. Those who come and pray the obligatory prayers, لم يكتب من الغافلين. Ghafilin is heedless. It is not written among those. ومن قرأ في ليلة 100 آية كتب من القانتين. And if you read 100 ayah for every night and day, it says you will be written among qanitin. What is qanat? You perfect your ibadah. It says الذي قرأ القرآن جعلنا بينه وبين الذين لا يؤمنون باليوم الآخر حجابا مستورا. So if you read the Quran, we will make between you and those who don't believe in the hereafter hijaban mastura. This is like a sealed veil. That, you know, when it repeats the sifa, it's like a hujra mahru'a dhillan dhalila. It's like, you know, layers of dhil, layers of shade. You know, in the tree, why do you think it's so cool under the tree? Because you have so many layers of branches of trees, and that's why it's so cool. And that's why Allah says, subhanallah. So when you have that in your heart, you will have that, inshallah. You will be protected from those who don't believe in the hereafter. طيب. When Prophet Muhammad says, لا حسد إلا في اثنتين. There is no envy. Envy means in a good way, not a malice way. 2 things. What are they? Who tells me? Who knows the hadith? Allahu Akbar. ما شاء الله تبارك الله. Very good. رجل علمه القرآن فهو يتلوه أناء الليل وأناء النهار فسمعه جار له فقال يا ليتني أوتيت مثل ما أوتي فلان فعمل مثل. Very good. So those who recite the Quran but they implement it, and those who they during the day, during the night, and those who have Allah given them the wealth, they spend it during the day and during the night. Yes, not the one that has I envy this guy because he has dunya stuff. It's the hereafter. So what do you learn? You look at the one that is better than you in ibadah. You say, I want to be like him. Yes. And if you look at the one that is lower than you in the dunya, you're grateful to Allah that I'm not like them. You understand? So this is the mi'yar. This is a measuring stick, inshallah. طيب. Okay. I'm gonna hopefully we'll just fadl al-Quran ta'aleem, inshallah. So we already told that the best of the best, inshallah, as those who come and learn and teach, inshallah. And my teachers told me this, wallahi, when I used to teach courses of different things. That's what our teachers told me. He says, you want to learn? Teach. Because you have to learn to be able to teach. So try it, brothers. Okay? That's what I'm trying to ask you, to have a halaqah in your home, inshallah. طيب, we'll finish with this one accordingly, and then we can take some other time, inshallah. This is a beautiful one for those who are here, inshallah. And those who, brothers and sisters, are watching us online, inshallah, may Allah bless you and accept from you, Ya Rabb. Ameen. Prophet Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم said, وَمَا اجْتَمَعَ قَوْمٌ فِي بَيْتٍ مِّن بُيُوتِ اللَّهِ يَتْلُونَ كِتَابَ اللَّهِ وَيَتَدَارَسُونَهُ بَيْنَهُمْ إِلَّا نَزَلَتْ عَلَيْهِمُ السَّكِينَةُ وَغَشِيَتْهُمُ الرَّحْمَةُ وَحَفَّتْهُمُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ وَذَكَرَ اللَّهُ فِي مَنْ عِندَهُ. Ya salam. Yeah, it's a beautiful bushra. I'm giving you good news, glad tidings. It says, not everyone that comes to the house of Allah, they will learn about the Quran. Not recite it, also learn about the Quran. And إِلَّا نَزَلَتْ عَلَيْهِمُ السَّكِينَةُ. Peace and tranquility will be descended upon you. وَغَشَتْهُمُ الرَّحْمَةُ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bestow His mercy upon you. وَحَفَّتْهُمُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ. Ya salam. Don't look. The angels are surrounding you right now. You can't see them, just saying. That's what the hadith says. Angels are surrounding you right now. Do you believe it? They mention you by name. Each and every one of us is mentioned by the angels to Allah. Do you believe it, Sheikh? That's an honor. Allah knows who you are by name. The angels are telling them who you are. So you can be famous here in the dunya. But could you imagine being famous in the dunya and the hereafter? But you can be not very famous in uni or whatever it is in high school, but you're famous in the heavens, Sheikh. Who cares about these people? And you know what that means? That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will mention you in the highest level of the angels. The highest rank. You know there are 7 layers of heaven. You understand this galaxy and the Milky Way, all of the stuff where? This all thing that you know, is in the whole galaxy is the first heaven. Do you believe it? This whole thing that you can't get to, all this is the first heaven. There are seven layers, Sheikh. It's mind-boggling. You see? So when you think that, you know what, I've been working out, man, don't mess with me, dude. I bench 300, I squat 700. Where is the beef? You know, dude, you're a speck on something that is a speck in the earth, in the galaxy. Yes? And when you walk around, Ya Ardan Haddi Ma'aliki Addi. You know what? I'm God's gift to woman to earth. You think that you got all this stuff, dude? You know, we gotta have to be real. Yeah? So when you walk around, Yamshuna ala al-ardi hauna. It humbles you. Yes? Okay. I'm not gonna go in the ranks of the memorizing all of that stuff, acquiring knowledge, all that stuff. So I'm gonna, inshallah, I'll do my best to skip as many as possible, but I'll come back to it if it is possible, inshallah. طيب. I'm gonna mushfiq alaykum. I'm gonna take it easy on you. I have some mercy yani. Because I know the attention span is 20 minutes. But these guys asked me to teach from Maghrib to Isha. I go, it's not gonna happen. They're gonna die. So I'll do my best to sort of yatakhawwal. Yes? Prophet ﷺ, he goes through. And that's why I'm gonna have some breaks and have some questions and answers so we can reciprocate inshallah. Then we can be just on one side. طيب. This is Shahada al-Walid al-Mughira. Al-Walid al-Mughira, he went to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, was debating and he was trying to get him on board, trying to leave this thing called Islam. You're differentiating between the people. Why are you doing this and all of that stuff? So Abu Jahl, who's Abu Jahl? Okay, okay, it's Abu Lahab actually, but that's fine. Yes, Habibi. Tabbat yada Abi Lahabin wa tab. What was his real name? Abu al-Hakam, his real name, the kunya, was the father of wisdom or the owner or possessor of wisdom. But when he said that Zakum, Zakum is a horrible food that the people of the hellfire, may Allah protect us from that, will be eating. So he took this dates and he buttered it up and he swallowed it. He says, this is the Zakum that Muhammad ﷺ was talking about. So Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, you know what? This is Abu Jahl. And when he also mentioned, عَلَيْهَا تِسْعَةَ عَشْرٍ, there's 19 angels. He says, we can take him. We're a big army. That's serious jahl. That's serious ignorance. They think that they can take the angels. Allah musta'ad. That's why he was called Abu Jahl, not Abu al-Hakam, Abu Jahl, the opposite of that. So he goes to refute Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Says, you know what? If you want, the hadith is da'if, but it's in the seerah, so we're not going to take the hukm. It is not a ruling. It's not an issue of aqidah or a penalty. So it's okay. So you know when everybody knows the hadith, but the hadith is da'if, is weak. So we're not going to take it as a ruling. But either or, but this hadith is sahih, so we'll take it. So he says when he came back, when Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam recited the ayat, he was mesmerized. Yes, he was going, wow, this is something totally different. Then he almost became a Muslim. Almost. You know, even when he came back, and Abu Jahl says, you know what? Al-Walid ibn al-Mughira came back with a different face. Oh boy, here we go. He says, Ya Abu al-Mughira, what are you? What's happening? You know what he told him before actually? He says, Ismail, Wallahi, I have never heard anything like it. He says, what did he say to this? He says, is it magic? I know magic. This is not magic. So what are you going to say? You better say something bad. Is it shi'r? Is it poetry? He says, I am one of the most intellect, those who knowledge of the actual science of the language. I know poetry. This is not poetry. So what is it then? So he says, you know, he keeps going back and forth. But before that, he says, I know. Why don't we believe in him? Why don't we follow him? عِزُّهُ عِزُّكُمْ وَفَخْرُهُ فَخْرُكُمْ. So why don't we follow him? He's from us. If he becomes the leader, we become honored. We should be proud of him. It's a long story when we used to teach the seerah, maybe after the Quran, inshallah. But he said, no, we're not going to do that for some dunya alternative motives. So you have to say something. He says, Wallahi, the only thing is I can only say it's sihr. يَسْحَرُ النَّاسِ يَفَرِّقُ بَيْنَ الْمَرْءِ وَزَوْجِهِ. Family, because they used to go out. Some believe, some don't believe. The only thing I can say. He says, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed, ذَرْنِي وَمَنْ خَلَقْتُ وَحِيدًا. Yeah, okay, leave me with this guy now. سأرهقه صعودا. You know what this سأرهقه صعودا? Okay, I won't go there. It's coming. But remember, he said the following. He says, Wallahi, when he said that, you know what, I have heard so many things, but there's nothing like him. Wallahi, ما يشبه القول شيء من هذا. There's nothing like what you mentioned. إن لقوله الذي يقول حلاوة. There's beauty to what he says. وإن عليه لطلاوة. This is in the Quran, جمالا في لفظه وسياقه. And not just the utterance, and everything that comes with it. And this, in معانيه ومفردته. It's like in what it means and what it says. And وَإِنَّهُ لَمُثْمُنٍ أَعْلَاهُ. That means anything else, you cannot go above that. There is nothing better than that. وَإِنَّهُ يَعْلُو وَلَا يُعْلَى عَلَيْهِ. So even then, شهد به, you know, when the الأعداء, they testify for this, that's a great honor. So brothers, don't put anything on the Quran, please. Let the Quran be the highest thing. Don't put anything on the Quran. And please don't use the Quran as insurance policy in your car. I understand. You see, I came from a place that we used to do the same thing too. You know, he knows. Any Egyptians in the house? Okay, just 3, 4. Okay, where's the fool and falafel, man? They say if you eat too much fool and falafel, you feel awful. I'm just saying. I love biryani. I'm brown from the inside. It's a fitna for me. May Allah help us with that. Okay, so please understand that back home, we used to put the Quran in the car just to protect the car. That's it. And we used to put the Quran underneath the pillow of our children. So they don't have nightmares. This is not what the Quran was revealed for, Shaykh, wallahi. Worst thing I have ever seen in my life is people bury the Quran under the footstep of the house. Wallahi, Shaykh. Wallahi. That kills me. It's a horrible culture. They bury the Quran beneath the footstep because that's how they protect. The Quran was not revealed to be buried, ya ukhti, ya akhi. And you have seen this hand, the 5 thingy, with the eye. I'm not going to go there. There's a specific country that I love very much. Specifically use this all the time. This blue eye thingy. Don't be offended if you're from there, I'm just saying. They believe that this is how they get protected. Isn't that amazing, Sheikh? Yes. So we're going to learn a few things as we go along, inshallah. طيب. Bismillah. All right. This is the book. We're going to start, at least to start, inshallah, for the introduction, to get a little bit of background of it and why we're doing it and the 5 stages and all of that stuff. Then if I'll do my best to get to Al-Fatiha. If not, then please forgive me, we'll do it later. But at least, inshallah, we will know what we're talking about and put the foundations there. طيب. This book, Al-Quran Al-Kareem, Tadabbur wa Amal, he's talking about the 5 minhaj. the methodology that he's going to talk about, inshallah. Number one, there are five steps that he's talking about, inshallah. The tawdih and idrasa, to clarification and study the Quran. Number one is istima'. Listen to the Quran. That's why I asked you to listen to the Quran all the time, either on the phone. I want you to have a wird. I want you to have a homework on a daily basis. In the car, it doesn't matter what you do, istima'. But I recommend highly to listen to one qari. Whoever your favorite qari is. Okay? You listen to one qari so you can actually get used to the sound and help you to memorize. Okay? So al-istima', because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded us when it says وَإِذَا قُرِئَ الْقُرْآنِ فَاسْتَمِعُوا لَهُ وَأَنصِتُوا لَعَلَّكُمْ تُرْحَمُونَ. I'm not going to go into fiqh issues here when you pray, do you say al-Fatiha or not. But istima', listen to the Quran, is one aspect. Number two is at-tilawa. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says الَّذِينَ آتَيْنَاهُمُ الْكِتَابَ يَتْلُونَهُ حَقَّ تِلَاوَتِهِ. When those who were provided the book for them, they recited in the best manner, deserving to be recited. What is حق التلاوة? أعطي كل حرف حقه. You give every letter its right. Okay, we can do tajweed. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of things that you can do here when it comes to this stuff. But that's what this is all about. So, not just listening, but tilawa in the proper manner. Then it's the hifd. بل هو آيات بينات في صدور الذين أوتوا العلم. These are the clear signs in the hearts and the chest of those who believe. And that's why I said sutur and sudur. Yes? Lines and hearts. Memorize it up by heart. At-tadabbur. That's here most important, inshallah. Number 4, he says, كتاب أنزله إليكم مبارك ليدبروا آياته. This book is blessed for those who ponder and reflect upon its ayat. Ayah is a mu'jiza. You know what an ayah is? Ayah is a sign, it's a miracle. So every ayah in this Quran is a sign and a miracle on its own. But remember, it is ponder, reflecting, and contemplate about it. The fifth stage is amal. And that's why it's called tadabbur. Yeah? Wa amal. Very good. الذين يستمعون القول فيتبعون أحسنه. Those who listen to speech and follow the best of it. Allahumma aj'alna minhum. Or make us among those who listen to speech and follow the best of it. Ameen. So he's using the methodology. And again, this book is used 10, I repeat, 10 of tafsir to give you the summary of what we're going to go through on a nutshell, inshallah. طيب القرآن التدبر وعمل هو منهاج كامل محكم ومتخصص في التدريب القرآني والعلم والعمل. It is a comprehensive methodology to be able to implement the knowledge of what you have. And by the way, it's used in so many ways. One way that they have the methodology in is الوقفات التدبرية. This one here, I'm going to tell you. Here's the ayat. Then we're going to have to stop a little bit and ponder, reflect about what the ayat means. And the other one is جدول المعاني. That means we're going to have to go through the vocabularies, what that means, the definition of some of the vocabularies. Number 3 is al-amal bil-ayat. We'll give you some homework. If you learn about this ayah, here's what you should do. Number 4, at-tawjihat, some directions. So I'll give you also some directions after we learn the ayat. You will see this in every page, inshallah, so we'll go through them. And then he has too many masadr. The ways that he actually looked into it and done an amazing job, mashallah. So the ahdaf, what is the goals of this? He says, إحياء رتبة التدبر كتاب الله. We need to revive for us to go back and ponder and reflect, not just for the barakah. You know what the scholars say? It says, لا تجعل آخر الصفحة هو الهدف عندك الأسمى. Don't let the end of the page be your goal. Your ultimate goal is to get to the end of the page. Then what? Okay, so you did khatm. Then what? You finished again. Then what? But by the way, when you do khatm, brothers, again, okay, I'm going to give it to you. But again, do as much as you can. You can do a khatm on your phone. Keep listening. Khatm in the car. Khatm in your mushaf if you have one at home. Yes? Khatm in qiyam. There's darajat inda Allah. I'm not going to ask you to do this right now. No 180. Gradual change. Yes? Gradual. But that's your ultimate goal. You know, I keep this thing and I keep going. It pauses, I keep going when I have it. Ponder, reflect. Car, I go. I mean, whatever it is, there's another khatm. There's another khatm in the qiyamul layl. Not niyamul layl. Raise your hand if you do qiyamul layl. MashaAllah. At least you're honest. Ya Sheikh, Fajr is like 4 o'clock, man. When do you get up for Qiyam? Yani? I can't hardly wait. I can't make up just Fajr. Yani. What are you talking about Qiyam? It's okay. It's okay. One step at a time, right? One step at a time, inshallah. Very good. Allah al-Musta'an. طيب. إحياء رتبة العمل بكتاب الله. Not just reviving the ponder reflecting, but we need to revive the actions and deeds that we learn and implement the knowledge, inshallah. Number 3, he says, this is tadabbur wal amal bil Quran is actually taught in different universities. So we can do something that is high level, high class stuff that is actually well prepared. طيب. Again, go back to the maratib al-khamsa. It helps you to find 5 stages. Remember the 5 stages? I'll be asking you about it in the end, inshallah. Now also to clarify what does it mean to dabbar and ponder and reflect and implement what the knowledge is all about and give you a methodology to be able to follow. And also المساعدة على ترسيخ الحفظ والضبط المتشابهات. This is a bit of a higher level. المتشابهات is like if you remember to memorize the Quran, it's going to be mutashabihat is very clear, Sheikh. Very, very difficult. So you need to navigate and gives you some kind of ruling on how to navigate through al-mutashabih. The one that is very close in not in the beginning, but close to the ayat of the sound, what it means like. طيب. Okay, so we're going to go through awqafat, a'mal and tawjihat. Then I'm going to give you some homework as I explained earlier, inshallah. Here we go. Are we ready? All that just to get to Al-Fatiha, Shaykh. Come on, yani. طيب. I'm going to read it off the book and explain it, inshallah. Then we'll do as much as possible. I'd like to finish before the Isha, and I don't want to go through till Isha, inshallah. Okay, because I'd like to leave the floor open for you, inshallah, and question answer. Do you want to stop here and start next time with Al-Fatiha? To open the floor because it's a bit too much? Okay, let's make a vote. If you think the introduction is good enough for today, raise your hand. MashaAllah. All right, if you think we're going to continue and go into a Fatiha, raise your hand. That's close. Now we're going to have to vote and count it. All right, you only raise your hand once now. All right, if you think it's good enough for that we started for introduction and start Al-Fatiha next week, please raise your hand. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 31, 32, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 40. 1 for the sisters. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. That's we got 50. Okay. So if you want to continue on, please raise your hand. Yeah, it's not going to make it. All right. It's not going to. All right, fair enough. So you see, this is democracy. No politics here. In action. So that's good enough. So let's now leave the floor open, right? So now it's your turn to ask me questions about what I talked about today. Let's not go on tangents, inshallah. So let's now, if you have any questions about what I talked about here, by all means feel free. If not, then I'll be asking questions. You can get the mic to the sisters, that's fine, by all means, inshallah. Okay, bismillah. Yeah, okay, alhamdulillah. I know it's heavy, I get it, I know. I actually took off some stuff. Because I see the puppy look. Huh? Is it? It's way over 20 minutes, Sheikh, over my limit. But wallahi, I'm very much looking forward to this. It's a beautiful, beautiful book. It's one of the best I've ever read. But I will give you a message today. Fair enough? I will give you one message from Rasail al-Quran. Rasail min al-Quran. Fair enough? I won't start Al-Fatiha. Fatiha we'll start next week. But I will give you a message for today. So there is messages from the Quran that I'm going to leave you with. But for now, the floor is yours. If there's no questions, I'll be asking questions. There are questions, please go ahead, Ukhti.
Go over the 5 things.
Yeah, oh, smart. Because I was going to ask you about what are the 5 messages. Okay, let me help you out. All right. Okay, fantastic. Listen and read, ponder and reflect, memorize. Yeah, tadabbur and amal. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. So you listen, you ponder and reflect, you memorize, and then you implement, Very good. These are the 5 steps. Ukhti, I'll be asking again, inshallah, to make sure that we recap it. Did that answer your question, my dear sister? Allah. Okay, my dear brother, please go ahead. If there are any questions, go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum. So you gave a very nice advice that we should do a halqa in the house with
Yes.
with our spouse and kids. So if a family has never done this before, and as you know, the Quran has some very heavy surahs and some very light ones. With younger kids, where do you think we can start with doing something small but consistently every day and every week? Any
Great idea.
advice?
Yes, a very good question. Thank you for that. So remember, حدث الناس, يعني talk to people according to their level. So I cannot give the same lecture if I talk to children. I won't be able to. But when you speak to the children, inshallah, you speak to them in their language, something they can relate to. Okay, talk about even cartoon characters. You know their children best, what their keys. Everyone has a key, right? Remember when we did this, remember when we did, SpongeBob or whatever it is, and anything to do with that. Talk their language. So please don't go deep with the children, otherwise they will just leave you and start go play with their toys. Yeah. Wallahu alam. Any other questions? Yes, my brother. Yeah. Right. You want to give it to them? Okay. So the sisters can hear you, Sheikh, and the people online.
On their actual life. I mean,
Repeat the question, please. Up a little.
I've seen the people who are memorize the Quran.
Right.
I don't see any impact on them. They're just memorizing. They don't understand what exactly it is.
Yeah.
So it's better if you are even one ayah, if you understand that, and then try to implement it, that will be better. Yeah.
Absolutely. I agree with the brother 100%. That's why I told you I don't want to be just to memorize the Quran, because actually understanding the Quran will help you memorize the Quran, believe it or not. Yes? Okay, there is, next time I'm going to go, there's quite a few. So of the benefits and all that stuff to understand the seerah, understand what it means, all of that stuff. So inshallah we'll talk about it. So Dr. Subhi.
Jazakallah khair. I just want to comment on what the brother said here. I'm not sure if you mean some people who the Arabic is not their first language, or you're talking in general? In general, okay. But again, I think I want to just make an important comment on that. Like, it's very nice. Okay, how can I say it? When you basically stand in a prayer behind someone, especially those who Arabic is not their first language, and you see how amazing the recitation is.
MashaAllah.
This is by itself is ayah min ayat Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ فَهَلْ مِن مُدَّكِرٍ. This is by itself is a miracle. So it's not, the goal at the end, the main goal of the Quran is, we have to make tadabbur, 100%. That what I'm just want to try to say, like, let's not get this in a way to discourage, let's say, some people from getting their young kids making hafz. But I see this especially in some specific communities, which is very amazing. They get their kids to make hafz Quran when they are starting 4 or 5, Bismillah, mashallah. And then you get, although they don't really understand it, especially at the beginning, but this is by itself, subhanAllah, is one of the ayat of the Quran itself.
Exactly.
So I just want to make the comment, like, your point is basically, it's an excellent point, but just want to also give it that dimension.
MashaAllah. And by the way, I have some good news for you. If you're not an Arab, the hadith says that those who recite the Quran perfectly, like with the angels, or the ranks of the angels, and those who recite it وَتَتَعْتَعْ, tata'ta meaning it stutters or having difficulties to recite the Quran, they will get double the reward. Not just one reward, you will get double the reward. The reward of reciting the Quran and the reward if you're having difficulties to recite the Quran. See? That's the generosity and the mercy of Allah. MashaAllah. The brother has their hand here, but the sisters, again, if you have questions, please raise your hand. We'll get you the mic, inshallah. Go ahead, madam.
Sheikh, you talked about the shifa in the Quran.
Right.
So how can we use the Quran as a method of healing? Is it
Right.
just through recitation, or There are specific
Yeah.
ways of doing ruqya and ta'awud.
MashaAllah. It is necessarily for the ruqya, and the ruqya is known. It's online, and this is what the shifa, the adhkar al-sabah and masa, for example. Ayat al-kursi, the verse of the throne, al-mu'awwadat, yes? قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ النَّاسِ. By the way, these are the amount, the ayat is 11, and that's how many ties, the knots that they had when Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was dealt with. Yes, this is exactly what it is. So we talk about it. This is what the use of the ayat of when it reveals when it comes to sihr, like I think it's called jadoo. Yeah, because when I used to in my office, I receive a phone call. Do you do jadoo? I go, I don't know what jadoo is. Wallahi, it's like judo. I don't know jadoo. Tika acha jiji kihala. So yeah. So these are the things that we use for Sheikh, the ruqya and protection. Yes? It's not like a big insurance policy or all of that stuff. You have the protection. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, it says, we'll put your hearts at ease. Yeah? If you read the Quran, of course. Yeah. Did that answer your question, my brother? There are specific verses in ayat that is used for ruqya, Sheikh. Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum, Shaykh.
تطمئن قلوبهم ألا بذكر الله تطمئن القلوب. Isn't it by the remembrance of Allah that your heart's at ease and tranquil? Yes, my brother.
Jazakallah khair for
Yeah.
joining us. We're very happy to host you at our masjid.
Pleasure. Thank you very much.
If I can share a quick story with everyone, I think now is the best time to ask any questions for Sheikh Alaa. Sheikh Alaa, once upon a time, used to live in Churchill Meadows. And Sheikh, if you remember, it wasn't me, by the way. Someone came to your house, I think it was midnight, to ask you a question. So I know you don't appreciate
2 o'clock.
that. Oh, it was 2 a.m., okay.
2 o'clock in the
So
morning.
now is the best time to ask those questions. I won't reveal where you are now because we don't want that anymore. But Jazakallah khair for coming. You mentioned briefly about abandoning the Quran. Now I've heard that if you don't do a khatam within 30 days, you've abandoned the Quran. Now what if someone is doing it in 60 days or 90 days or essentially
Right.
not in 30 days? Is this still abandoning the Quran?
Abandoning the Quran, the scholar says, if you're embarrassed to read the Quran in front of people, that's abandoning the Quran. Abandoning the Quran is leaving its hukm, the rulings, is abandoning the Quran. Abandoning the Quran is not reciting every day, even one ayah. Abandoning the Quran. Abandoning the Quran is only in Ramadan. Abandoning the Quran. إِنَّ قَوْمِ اتَّخَذُوا هَذَا الْقُرْآنَ مَهْجُورًا. Yeah, Allah, they will complain on Judgment Day. Inna qawmi, my people took the Quran mahjura. They abandoned the Quran. And that's part of the abandoning the Quran, Sheikh. So let me give you some homework. Okay, guys? Number 1, how to finish the Quran on a monthly basis. Okay? Let me help you out. How many pages in a para? Para is juz. 20 pages. Very good. How many prayers a day? 5. Divide 20 into 5. How many do you get? 4. That means if you read 2 pages before every prayer and 2 pages after every prayer, you will finish the Quran every month. That's the easiest way to do it. Okay, that's your homework. One of your homework, inshallah. Very good. Did that answer your question, or that gives you the idea? Okay. So if you want to be among the Ahl al-Quran, there's one way to do it. Yes? Very good. Any other questions or concerns? After finished, I'll go with mine, inshallah. I will look into English version, inshallah. If it works, it's an amazing book. Believe me. Okay? But you will see next time, inshallah, when it comes to Fatiha, I will give you the ayah. I will tell you, what did you learn from the ayah? And what you're going to do from the ayah, and how to ponder and reflect and implement this. I'll give you some homework. It's a beautiful methodology. Yes, this is what he's using, and that's one of the reasons I picked this book, because it's the best that I have seen. Yes, my brother.
There is, I think there's a hadith, if you recite 3 times class,
Yes.
is equal to one Quran.
Right. The hadith is
is-
sahih. When you recite Qul Huwallahu Ahad 3 times, as if you recited the whole Quran. Who can tell me why and how? What does that mean? How come?
Because the Sahaba used to ask that, how can we finish the Quran in
Right.
like in a same
Okay.
night?
All right. So the scholars say because the meaning behind Surah Al-Ikhlas, Ikhlas is sincerity, is to monotheism, Tawheed. And since the Quran is 1/3 Tawheed, monotheism, and Ikhlas and sincerity. That means when you recite Surah Al-Ikhlas, Qul Huwallahu Ahad, 3 times, as if you have finished the Quran. You understand? But you don't get the same reward as if you finish the Quran. You understand? Because why? Because every letter is 10. Yeah. And some of the scholars says when you read it, you get your eyes get the benefit. But when you recite it, you get the tongue gets it, your eyes gets it, and your ears get it. You understand, guys? So لا تحرك به لسانك لتعجل به. So the scholar says you don't just, it's okay to listen to it, it's okay to look at it, but it's better to use your tongue, Shaykh, because of this ayah. Use your tongue to recite. But don't go so high to interrupt anybody else. This concentration, whether it's in prayer or they're doing their own dhikr, whatever it is, for your own. That's the etiquettes and matters. Yes? Very good. That answer you, Shaykh? Yes, brother.
Just one more question. So there are some, like, not some, but lots of non-Arabic people. It's the continuation of the same question. Those who whole life they just recite the Quran without understanding. Either they are not educated, they can't understand, like can't read. They just keeps on reciting or reading the Quran in Arabic. What are their status like as compared to the people who go and search for the to understand these all the ayahs? So what's the difference? What they're gonna get the same reward?
Of course. So some of the scholars actually, there are differences of opinion among the scholars, but of course the highest level is what we said. أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنِ. We said تَدَبُّرَ الْعَمَلِ is pondering, reflecting, and contemplating them, and then implementing. That's the highest level. There are 3 different opinions on the scholars on this one. Okay, those who are iqra or taqi, that is the strong. Recite and elevate the rank in the heavens. This is the strongest opinion. Those who read it, ponder, reflect, and implement it. That's the highest level. So you will get the reward for every letter you recite. You will get 10 hasanat. You're not deprived of that. But you know what I mean? There's a higher level than that, and there's a highest level than that. Yes? So I don't want you to just memorize, but inshallah we'll put our homework on that too. And inshallah we will also take it gradually. Wallahu a'lam. I don't want you to go 180. Don't go, I don't mean 180 miles an hour. Yeah. But we're metric here, 1 kilometers. I don't want you to change from one extreme to the other. That's what I mean. Okay. Any other questions? Please go ahead.
Sheikh, I have a question.
Last question, inshallah.
Sure.
According to
So, you know how you mentioned not using Quran as an insurance policy, hanging in your cars or putting under the bed, under the pillow of your kids. In my culture, there is this trend where I've seen they walk the bride with under the shadow of Quran, thinking that it's gonna bring bring her good marriage. However, I see some of these marriages where the girls come back with a divorce in 3 months. Is this shirk?
Okay, that's a good question. Remember, there's a major and minor shirk, and shirk khafi. Khafi meaning hidden. There are different types of shirk. Yes? So shirk there's a whole lecture. To talk about shirk in itself is very heavy topic. But I will talk about what you just mentioned, okay? And talk about the cure, inshallah. Fair enough? Okay. Most of the time when I deal with these issues, wallahi, it's ignorance. Pure ignorance. Because they don't know. So I give them the benefit of the doubt. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس. Yes? Because among the best of the best, as we mentioned, this is an ummah, the best of ummas. Yes? So why? First thing he said what? تأمرون بالمعروف. Second, تنهون عن المنكر. Third, تؤمنون بالله. Inshallah. Yeah? So first he says, you enjoin good. He didn't say forbid evil. Yes? He said, تأمرون بالمعروف first. So we have to have patience upon these people. We also have to have wisdom with dealing with these people. So I know that they're not learned. I know that. So I have to take it easy for them. So we say 3 conditions. ألف ثم عرف ثم كلف. ألف القلوب, reconcile the hearts, let people like you first. Then عرف, then raise awareness, educate. Then كلف, then obligate. So you talk to them you know the people. Your friends, you know their keys, by the way. You know some of your friends will be able to take the heat. You tell them nicely. Some of them will be very sensitive. إذا قيل له اتق الله أخذته العزة بالإثم فحسبه جهنم ولبئس المهاد والعياذ بالله. If you tell them اتق الله يا أخي, be conscious of Allah, don't do this, it will be take their pride and they will do something even worse. فإن كان أمرك المعروف ونهيك عن المنكر يترتب عليه منكر أكبر منه فتركه أولى. Means if you're going to enjoin good and forbid evil, the consequences of you doing that is a greater evil, so leaving it is better. So you have to also have the wisdom of giving the da'wah, Shaykh. So I believe it is ignorance. People don't know. And they take their culture. Culture is very strong, by the way, brothers and sisters. Culture is very strong. Some people will leave the deen and do the culture. Yes? Okay. So indeed is not a major shirk, Shaykh, unless these certainly believe that this is the only one protect you and not Allah. You know what I mean? If they intentionally do that and they know that's huge. Yes? But if they do it because they heard one person, you cha-cha, you chichi, you chuchu, they say it, then they just follow. I'm not going to hold them accountable for that. Then we raise awareness. That's why these things are very important to talk about. But very valid point. All right. Thank you so much. Now it's my turn to ask you questions, and we'll give you a few minutes before that. So you can go, you make your wudu. And not that I heard or something. I think I'm just saying. Yeah, it's a mustahab. All right. So let's start from the beginning. All right. We'll start with the sisters. Oh, I got some nice goodies here for you, sisters. All right. I talked about the fadl, the benevolence and the benefits and virtues of the Quran. I mentioned it's a few things. Do you remember any of them? I know it's going to be a bit difficult. You don't know, I talked a lot about it, but I mentioned it is 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you remember any of them? If you don't, then I'll give you one word. Hopefully tell me what that means. I said the Quran is what? Do you have something? Okay, the question is, why is cereal much better with milk? No? Yeah, okay, you're right. That wasn't the question. The question is, I've said the Quran it has all these features and benefits in it. Yes? I mentioned a few things. I mentioned 5 at least. Not the 5 steps that I want you to do, we talked about, but the benefits and the features of the Quran. Do you remember any of them? Sisters first, and if not, then I'll come to the brothers. Okay, let me help you out, just maybe to get you on the right path, okay? I said the Quran is what? Ar-Ruh. Yes, I said the Quran is the spirit, it's the soul. What does that mean though? Thank you, sisters. The brother is right. Do you remember what I said? Because it is the soul. What is so special about the soul and the ruh and the spirit? Any of the sisters know? That's okay. The brothers can steal, but stealing is haram. I'm just saying. Okay, the brother said it right. What's your name, my brother? Shadab, mashallah. He says the spirit and the soul gives you life. So the Quran is the thing that gives you life. All right, brothers, what's other things that I mentioned about the Quran? Allahu Akbar, has shifa. Very good. What does that mean? It is a healing power. Very good, mashallah. Sisters, do you remember now? Are you on the right track? Okay, anything else other than these two? Do you remember? Thank you, sisters. MashaAllah. Voices changed, my dear sister. It's much deeper than before. Is which? Noor. Good for you, my dear sister. I don't want any lawsuits here. Okay. I want to. Where is the youngest brother? The youngest young man we have here. Who? Where's the 7-year guy? He's gone already. Too much for his bedtime. Okay, I'm going to throw it. I'm hoping that you're not going to say, my eye. Hi. Oh, la, didn't even make the first row. Did you see that? That was horrible. Yeah, you can throw it back, Sheikh. Give it to sister if you don't mind. Left-handed? Yeah, that's the sister. MashaAllah. Good for you. It's a relay. We have a teamwork. All right, very good. So she said Noor, right? What did we say? Brothers, give me. What did we say about Noor? Not Sister Noor, Brother Noor. What did we say about Noor? It's a guiding light. It said the eye doesn't see on its own. But you need the Noor to be able to see. Yes? So you need the Quran to be able to see. So we said two types of vision. And you remember, sisters, two types of vision. May Allah bless you, Shaykh, he's got it. Two types of visions. Al-Basar wal-Basira. Allahu Akbar. Sisters, we're listening, man. That is like, for me, that's huge because they usually talk, hey, where do you get your nails done? Who does your... No, I'm just saying, I'm just joking. I love you guys. Okay. All right. Habibi, pass it on to the sister. It's going to be like crisp, like it's milkshake now. All right. Who has something else? I heard something else. What? Somebody, I heard something. Yes, go ahead, Sheikh. Whoever wants, I have more. What is the Quran? Okay, let's go there. If you give me everything that I mentioned in the best, you get this lovely low-calorie arrow thing. My nose is getting longer now. Go ahead, man.
It was sent by the best angel.
Best angel, Jibreel.
It was sent to the best of creation.
Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Best location and best time.
Best location, Mecca. Best month, Ramadan. Best night, Laylatul Qadr. Best ummah. Yes? And we said, who's the best? Those who learn the Quran and teach it. So if you implement the Quran, you become what? The best of the best. Good for you, man. What's your name, dude? I'm so proud of you, Brother Farouk. Oh, I can't throw beans. I have one more. Kit Kat is my favorite, by the way. All right. We have some more stuff. Who can hit me? Don't hit me, literally. Hit me with your best shot. Khalas, let's go on this one. So we'll move on, inshallah. Tayyib. Who can tell me what's the best, sister's turn, right? Sister's turn. Tell me, sisters, what's the best way to finish the Quran in a month? I know. I knew that one, Sheikh. Come on, man. Yani, come on, dude. Sisters, who can tell me? Break it down to me, for me.
So read 20 pages a day. So 4 after each salah, they can finish it in a month.
Okay, help her out. Do this sister thingy. Where's the sisterhood, man? When you need
two
it?
before and 2 after.
Right on. So we said 20 pages in every para, every juz. 5 prayers a day. That means 4 pages every prayer. You recite 2 pages before the salah. You recite 2 pages after salah. And voila, just like that, you finish the Quran. Just finish the first thing, but no budget cuts here. We have another one. These guys, MNN, they're big spenders.
We gotta cut down. We got people.
خلاص. Okay. We'll say it's a tie. Okay, a tie break. A tie break. Fair enough, guys? Tie break. Tie break, you will get 2, not 1. All right? These are huge. Yes? I'm going to ask you a question. It's going to be difficult a bit, but by the way, tie break question, if you've seen me doing the halakas before, you know the drill. Tie break question is open for both brothers and sisters. It is, the fastest hand is raised. As soon as you raise your hand, I stop, right? I don't repeat or complete the question. That means you have to answer according to what you heard. If you get it right, you and your team win. If you get it wrong, the other team wins by default, and your team members will hate you for life. No pressure. Let me think of something. Evil. All right. Okay. All right, here we go. This is the last one, inshallah. All right, the last one, we're going to wrap it up so we can give the adhan, inshallah. All right. Okay, I need a pair of eyes to be fair. Come and take a look. It has to be fair. All right. The final, the tie-break question is, what are the 5 stages of the Quran? I think this guy, it was between this guy and that girl. Which one do you think, Sheikh? Who's married? Are you married? Raise your hand if you're married. It's not a fundraiser.
I saw half a hand go up there and then go down temporarily.
Okay, fair enough. Because if you're married, you better give it to your sisters, because otherwise, if you want to have a pleasant evening, I'm just saying, but it's going to be a call to your emir. Which one? Who saw which hand it was? It was between this sister and this brother.
There was a temporary hand that went up first and then went down immediately, and then he was up there.
Which one went up first?
That one.
That one? Okay. So you have the floor. It's yours to lose. If you give me the 5 stages of understanding and pondering, reflecting about the Quran, you get the not 1 but 2, and the sisters win. And we're going to keep a tally for the summer. Remember, it's 3 months course. June, July, and August. By the end, I will give a very nice gift for whoever team wins. But we need a tally. You need Amir and Amir to keep a tally. Okay, yours, floor, Shakhti.
Okay, I'm pretty sure it was listen, read.
Which one?
Listen, read, memorize, ponder, reflect. Is that right?
Okay, I need 5. Give me 5.
Oh, listen, read,
Yes.
memorize, ponder, reflect.
Allahu Akbar. She's got it. She's got the 5. تدبر عمل. Yes. Ponder and reflect. Come. It's right here. Yeah, she said ponder and reflect. Oh, no, Ahmad. You didn't say mention Ahmad. You're right. Okay, listen, take one, lick it, sniff it, pass it around. All right, man, which one do you want? Do you want this one or that one? All right, here you go. And the sister will get this one. So it's a tie. Very good. May Allah bless you. Subhanakallah.